morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Ricker. I'm an environmental educator with New York City Parks, and today we are here in the Greenbelt. Specifically, we're in the Latourette Park portion of the Greenbelt, and behind me is one of my favorite trees, probably in the world. So this is known as a tulip tree. Some of the oldest living organisms here on Staten Island happen to be tulip trees. And we can recognize it's a tulip tree among some of the other trees by starting with the bark. So you can see that the bark here is really rigid and kind of interlacing. These deep grooves or fissures is what distinguishes it from some of the other hardwood deciduous trees here in the Greenbelt. And when I say deciduous, what I mean is trees that lose their leaves during certain portions of the year. Now when tulip trees are smaller, they're going to have more of a smooth gray bark, but as they mature and become really old, beautiful trees, that's when you're going to see a lot of these deep ridges on the bark. So besides the bark, some of the other ways we're able to identify tulip trees is by their flowers. So down here I have a dried out tulip flower, and this time of year, if you look up in the canopy, you will see some of the buds starting to bloom. And they're really beautiful little tulip-shaped flowers, which give the tulip tree its name. And these are really important for our forests because they provide food for a bunch of different animals that live here in the park. So when they first flower, a lot of things like hummingbirds, butterflies, and even the tulip tree moth or tulip tree beauty will come and help pull the pollen from the flowers, getting some food for themselves as well as assisting our trees with their life cycles. Once the flowers dry up and fall down, they actually disperse seeds. And things like chipmunks, gray squirrels, rabbits, and a bunch of little ground-dwelling mammals will eat these seeds, right? And the ones that don't get eaten, of course, will provide the next generation of tulip trees. Besides providing resources to our wildlife companions here in the Greenbelt, historically tulip trees have also provided humans with a lot of really important resources. Some of our First Nation peoples, like the Lenape, would actually utilize the tulip tree to create dugout canoes because of those long, straight trunks that seem to go on and on forever, right? That made digging canoes out of these trees manageable, right? Because you wouldn't want a canoe that's all squiggly. You would want something that's straight. Early colonists also would utilize these trees for lumber. So besides providing resources to our wildlife and ecology, they've also provided human beings with a lot of really important resources throughout history. So again, these trees are something you can come see here in the Greenbelt and our other parks on Staten Island. On days like this where it's a little misty and a little rainy, you can still come out and join our parks, and it's kind of preferred because there's a lot less folks out here in the park this time. So again, these are our tulip trees, and during this time, you know, if you can't give someone a hug at home, you can always hug our trees. I want to thank you again for joining Greenbelt Education at Home. I want to wish you all a safe and healthy day, and we'll catch you next time on our virtual videos. Have a good one.